Welcome to Safe Space, a place where real stories are shared, hard conversations are shared, the hard questions are answered, and growth begins. My name is Livia Arinda, and I welcome you all to Safe Space, a place for a young woman navigating life, facing challenges, searching for purpose, and daring to dream. So at Safe Space, we talk about the real issues that affect a young woman, her mental health, her identity, relationships, personal growth, and so much more. So whatever you are doing, whatever stage you are on as a young woman, this is a place for you. I'm so glad to have you today, and we are back with another hot topic that most of the people take for granted. Today we are talking about turning passion into impact. And I'm not here alone on the show. I have amazing ladies who have taken advantage of their passions and have started impacting more lives. We are going to discuss that, but before we dive deep into that topic, I'll request them to introduce themselves. You're most welcome on the show.
Thank you so much. Our listeners, my name is Auma Oliver, and a passionate climate change advocate, and right now carrying the reigning Miss Climate Water Conservation. Thank you.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
Thank you so much. I am called Tim Edith Labeja. I'm a lawyer by profession, and I am a girl child activist. Specifically, I do a lot of work in the sector of teenage pregnancy, menstrual hygiene, and then also mental health. I am an advocate for those, and I am a writer too, and a poet.
Well, that's a very good introduction. Good to have you around. We want to know, what is it, this passion? We are talking about turning passion into impact. But someone out there may not understand what someone means by passion. So how can someone easily understand passion? What is it about, and why does it matter?
Okay, according to me, I believe everyone has a passion in anything, because as an individual, I don't believe that you just be there and you have nothing that you're passionate about. Because as for me, I can want to say that I'm passionate about climate change. She might be passionate about writing, or she's passionate about broadcasting. So someone out there also can have it's
Something
what you
they
love to
Yes.
do concurrently. It's your passion. Yeah.
Why does it matter? Because many people have passions, but not everyone turns their passions into impact. Why did you decide to turn your passion for climate change into impact and to impact more lives out there?
Yeah. Okay, being I used to stay in Mbale. Yeah, that's why I was staying with my parents, and you know how Mbale is known for all that landslide, disasters, like occurrences. All right, everything is happening in the Bududa landslide, Mbale, Elgon regions. So the one which happened in 2018, I lost my best friend, and I know, and they were saying about the climate change. You find someone saying climate change is real. Climate change is real. It's a scam. Climate change is a scam to you if you have not yet become a victim, but it's really something so dangerous, and we opt to see that everyone developed love for the advocacy of climate change, and we start doing the practice that deserves about everything. Right now, I just love that we're having glasses, not plastic bottles in front of us, and that shows where we are now heading and what we are doing in line with the issue of climate change. So my passion for this will make me move wherever I'm going to go. I'm going to tell you, please, this is not worth you to do that.
Yeah,
so we have to turn, and what is worth it for us to do. And you don't have to tell me that you don't have a passion. You have a passion. Someone is going to say, I have a passion in music. So if you have passion in music, how are you turning your music to make someone outside there listen to you and say, yeah, I can do this, also to become like so and so. So then do what you hope to do in what you love.
Wow,
thank you.
That's so great. Why did you decide to turn your passion into your impact, or what what influenced you, what inspired you to turn your passion into the impact you're doing?
Okay. Um, what influenced me to turn my passion into impact? I realized that I am passionate about girls and women. And then I realized that I loved writing. And I told myself, how am I going to use my passion to help my society?
Okay.
Because impact, what are you doing in the society?
Yeah.
So I decided to start a CBO called this foundation, and I was able to I was able to advocate against teenage pregnancy, and then I've also been able to tell girls about mental health, like educating them about mental health challenges and everything. You realize that if you have a passion and you put it into and you like put it into impact, you realize that you're helping the society. Like there is that girl there who needs to get an education, who needs to have a future, who needs to go back to school after giving birth. Because research has shown that even after all those things, a girl can still thrive.
Yeah.
We see the likes of Chimamanda. She's an inspirational woman. We see Maya Angelou. Look at the story of Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou gave birth, and
Yeah.
just look at where she is. They even put her picture on a coin in the United States because of how influential she is. Look at Oprah Winfrey. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you can start from wherever you are, like, and be a great person. So
Yes.
there's nothing that can change who you are if
Exactly.
you're determined to be that kind of person.
Yes.
So as we said, at Safe Spaces, we dive deep into the real stories. So we want them to tell us exactly how did they start? What influenced them? Like they've said, she saw the landslides and she felt, most of the people say climate change is a scam, but then she has told you she became a victim and decided to act. So how did you start? What were your starting points? Like, how did you start to impact people in that area of climate change? What were your first steps?
Okay, I think just to chip in before I continue to my point, what she's saying about Oprah Winfrey. Do you know what it means by seeing your photo on a coin for a whole country?
Yeah,
She has a point. Okay, what inspired me in what I wanted to do in line with climate change, how I started as a person. Okay, we did the recovery part of it. Went, talked to people. It was hurting anyway, because trust me, you're going to tell someone, don't lose hope, you have hope. Someone is seeing the body of the child lying in front of her. Someone has lost home. Someone has lost a family. You might be the only person remaining. It was a hard time for us, but then we thank that different people, different organizations came through to pass and give that comfort into it. So when they were carrying out the recovery process, that is how I chipped in, and also giving the helping hand. Yes, having, they say I talk a lot, but I don't talk a lot. But say when you're talking, you have to talk sense in what you're going. So you have to utilize the fact that have a point in what you're saying, and how can you give hope to someone else. So after giving it to someone else, and yes, I didn't know about all that in climate change, so getting people into the spaces who are talking about it, and you'll find what happened, that you were a victim, was it happened because of what someone was saying it. Yes, always when you in our high school, they used to tell us that don't stay in hill areas. If you're stay, you have to have this kind of construction. If you're carrying out farming, you have to do this kind of the terracing and whatever it would be. And right now, people are resorting to urban farming, the urban farming methods, vertical farming methods. So right now, in line with that, I had to know that, yes, what is this all about? I need to dive into it, know more about it, how to overcome it, and how it is happening. Before you tackle a problem, you have to know what is the problem and how can you solve it. So the problem with climate change, how to solve it is making the voice heard that what is happening is real and it can happen to someone else somewhere else. So out of that, at 5, from talking about climate change in Bali, I went to a training of Green Leaders Project whereby they brought us into the line. What is climate change? How it is, the scientific cycle about it all, how we humans, because I used to say, now, me, Auma, as young as I am, I might not be one of, yeah, I might not be a victim, or how am I contributing to it? And being from a low developing country, really, and I remember they told us, we the low developing countries, we are not we contribute little, but we suffer a lot. So if it's all about this, I need to stand up and tell my host, Madam Arida, that climate change is real. It's not a scam. You can be an advocate for it. You can stand up and advocate for climate change. Let's strive and save someone outside there.
Wow.
Who is suffering from it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So how did you start? What were those first steps as you were starting your journey of impacting people in that area?
Okay. As I was starting my journey of impacting people around my society, my first steps, okay, you need to note that from the society where I come from, it's very sad that when a girl reaches 15 and they are not pregnant, it's like a miracle.
Wow.
You get it? It's sad, actually.
It's really
it's very sad and touching. So I told myself I have to do something about it. It also resonated with my story of, by the way, I didn't grow up with a mom.
Sorry.
So I felt the hurdle of being a girl child without guidance.
Without someone you can look up to.
Yes, without someone you can look up to. I had relatives and they had this thing of, will she make it? Will she be someone? And I felt I had to prove a point.
Yeah.
You people, I had to prove a
against
point.
all the odds. Yeah.
I had to go against all the odds to make sure that I proved them wrong. So I started Edith Foundation. I did not have enough money. I did not have enough expertise, but the passion kept me going.
Okay.
And I was able to find mentors who helped me on my journey.
Wow.
That is how I started.
Wow, that's so great.
I had to be resilient. I had to know what I want. And I had to make sure at the back of my mind I am impacting people in the society.
Yes, you had that drive because you felt there's something you missed when you were growing up.
Yes.
So you want someone out there not to miss it. And
yes.
So you had to act. You didn't want to just observe and be sad or fight for only yourself. You had to also impact others. So we are still continuing with this topic, but we are going to go for a short commercial break. But I want you to remember that we're at Namaste Restaurant. It is located behind City Oil Kamocha. If you want to come with your family or to have such a place with your family, with your children, there's a place where children can pray from. If you want to have a private place, to sit in a private place where you can talk, Namaste is a place for you. Don't go away, we are coming back. Welcome back from our short commercial break, and we are still here with the amazing ladies who are impacting so many lives out there. Today, I want you to decide if you know you have a lot of passions, and actually there is no one who doesn't have a passion, only that sometimes we don't realize our passions and we end up not utilizing them. So I brought these amazing ladies who are impacting lives out there in different areas so that they help you understand how you can get your passion, you start impacting lives. And as we continue, we all know that the journey is always full of challenges. There is nothing which is perfect. No life is perfect. You know, even the planned children, sometimes they have their own challenges. So there's nothing which goes on perfect. We want to know, how have you managed to continue impacting lives amidst all the challenges? You can even share with us some of the challenges you're facing as you're impacting lives and how you're able to continue impacting more lives amidst those challenges?
Yeah, we have tried anyway. And so I've tried. As you have said, some of the planned children also have challenges. My friend always says she's not a planned child, but she's a planned wife. And she needs to be a planned wife, I know that. So, in every journey as you're moving on, there are always that loopholes. You'll never get a smooth one like this stable, no? You always have loopholes in every space where you're going to move. And personally, being a youth, not yet employed, into the environment, first of all, making on top the myths and the bias people have about the topic or the action that I'm carrying out.
Yes, because your actions,
Societal
you're very
norms.
strict.
I know. And someone is going to tell you you're going to come into the spaces. You guys are going to speak climate change terms. Someone is going to come and talk about methane oxide, nitrogen oxide, and all that. And you find people are just lying us because you're using terms we don't understand. You want us to understand, but that is not
and
safe.
even climate change, you make people uncomfortable because you don't want people to litter paper. You don't want people
Because
the
we want
polythene, yes.
at the other side we want you to leave, because beside you having the bottles, beside you having all whatever you're consuming, want your life, by the way, you want people to vote. So on that, one of the challenges I'm getting is that you'll go to a space and you're talking to people. First of all, people are green about the knowledge. You find the access to climate change informations are limited. And also the people who are into the spaces, most of them are not concentrated. Most are concentrated within the city centers. So when you go down to the villages or to the grassroots levels where you want to carry out your advocacy, you have to have a lot of work, and the energy, the vibrancy in you should be high, that even this microphone can jump off, because you have to come from the unknown or to the known to the unknown in the line that everyone will have to understand. Because if you're going to tell a farmer that you do contribute to climate change, someone is going to tell you this is the backbone of Africa or the backbone of our country. How dare you stand up and start saying this and this and this? Then you have to break through and say this. When you're carrying out the farming methods we are using, the chemicals we are using, it tends to be hard, and you have to connect it. You're going to connect the farming to climate change, the farming to its impact, and someone wants to understand it locally. And there are some things you need to do it practically, and you'll not have that space. Then also, moving into the spaces, I personally do get hardship when it comes to transportation, because not being affiliated to any where you generate income from, but you have the passion on the what you need to do. You need to move from place to place to carry out your advocacy. It's always hard, but we try to maneuver around. The US say the Gen Zs, but no, we are not the Gen Zs. We try to maneuver around and see how we can chip it and carry out more discussion on that.
So we want to know what is driving you to now keep on amidst all those challenges,
keep on carrying out the information,
yes,
the people I'm bringing on board.
Wow.
Personally, someone stood up and said, you really inspire me in line with the climate change. And I say, yeah, if someone has started seeing the impact that I'm doing, that's mean I can now breathe and I say, yes, the yields are coming out. Because I always go into the community and find someone and say, yes, come and talk to my team members in line with climate change. You want to do this. Or we are carrying out a business idea, but we want to connect it to what? To climate change. Like I had a team last week I was talking to. They wanted to carry out an activity that they're going to earn money. On the other side, they're impacting the climate change. They're promoting adaptation ideas. So I told them, if you want to promote, if you want to earn, and at the same time you're conserving the environment, I told them one of the things is that start carrying out urban farming. What if you farm vegetables? You're going to farm vegetables using the bottle. You want they plant in bottles and what? Using the vertical. So you plant using bottles, the plastic bottles. So you're going to employ some few boys, get your 100 or 500. You say, if you bring a sack, I'm going to give you 1,000. So this person will be tasked to go and move around the environment, pick the bottles, forgetting that they are conserving what? The environment, leaving it green at the same time. So when they bring it to you, you're going to give them what? Money. When you give them money, that is economic what? Empowerment. Economic empowerment, you're going to earn a living, buy food you eat, sustainability there. So on the other side, you have the bottles. Carry out your farming. When the vegetables grow, sell and money.
Wow. So what keeps you moving is the impact, how
The impact, yeah,
people's
that-
lives are
yeah,
changing
people are not
because of
changing,
what
'cause
you're doing.
So far, I want to say that I have like 50 teens I'm looking at. They always, yeah, I did my part of mentoring them. So now I always just go to just see what they're doing. Just see what they're doing. At some point when I see, I just say, they'll go somewhere and you see the
Wow.
area. When you go to the area, it's always green. At campus, they used to call me Mama what? Mama Green.
Mama Green.
Because I love green thing. Even if we're in the discussion area, you'll not buy something and you dump it there. Trash can. We
Wow.
always have dustbin.
I love the fact that you go with who you are. Actually,
Yeah.
I've realized that climate change it's part of you.
It's just
because
part of-
as we came here, I saw you do some things that really showed that you're really passionate about what you're doing.
Just small action
Yeah.
can count something.
Okay, thank you so much. I know in some societies we still have people who do early marriages. You're looking at teenage pregnancies and impacting people in the menstrual hygiene. And I know since it is in the villages, because at least maybe in town some conditions are much better, but then in the villages it's not easy. How have you managed to continue moving amidst all the challenges? Sometimes maybe the cultures are looking at it as okay. So how have you managed to go through all those challenges and continue impacting lives?
All right. Thank you so much. In the villages, I have had to tell myself continuously, even when I face challenges like financial challenges, and then there are a lot of myths concerning menstrual hygiene, and then early pregnancy, like mindset, like trying to change the mindset of those
Of those
people.
people.
Sometimes they think maybe you're eroding their culture away, and you're like, oh my god, how best am I going to make them understand that it is important for a girl to be in school and not being married at a young age. I'm constantly telling myself that I have to see a girl getting education. I am telling myself I want to witness Michelle Obama in the future.
Wow.
I'm telling myself I want to see a future Gracia Machel, the First Lady of South Africa. I'm telling myself I want to see a girl thriving. That is what keeps me going. Even sometimes you feel demoralized, you feel demotivated.
Yeah.
Maybe when you talk, they be like, oh, she's bold and daring, she's too assertive. But no, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I remind myself of my goal. I remind myself of what I want for the society. And I keep, sometimes when I'm worn out, I am like, oh, let me first rewind a bit,
Okay.
and then I'll come back on board. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. Every journey is not an easy one, but if you have something behind you which inspires you every day to do what you do, that's what keeps on. That's the fuel for you to keep on moving on your journey. And as we conclude, I want us to look at what advice do you give out to that young woman out there who thinks maybe some of them, they don't know their passions, or they just think they have their hobbies and they don't know how to use their passions to impact lives. And others, they are fearing to start. They feel, they doubt themselves, they feel they are not qualified enough. What advice do you give out to someone out there about using their passions?
Don't doubt yourself. Yeah, let me start from that. Don't doubt yourself. If you know you are really in love with something, you love something, and you would love to do that something, stand up for it. Because I want to refer to men. You know, when a guy say that, yeah, I'm looking through a woman and I want to date her, trust me, that girl
They'll
will
go for
in all corners to you. So then why not you? You know, as ladies, as citizens, as youth, as everyone. I don't want to look at you don't have to look at yourself. before you look at the weak part of you, have you ever looked at the strong part of you? What is your strength? Business people always deal in two SWOT analysis, the entrepreneurs. So have you ever sat down and you analyze your SWOT analysis? What is your strength, your weakness, opportunities, and what are the threats that you're saying that if I stand up and I speak on U24, they are going to beat me? As in, who is going to beat you and why? Why should they beat you? Then if you have a reason why they're going to beat you or why someone is going to flash back on your point, how can you come again
What are
and
you
say,
doing about
you get
it? Yes.
So everyone, please don't stand on what you love. Please do what you love. And if you want to do it more, ask people who are doing it and tell them, how are you doing it? My sister has just said she's waiting to look at Michelle Obama of the future. Tell her, how did you manage to come up? Because when when they talk about women advocates and you're advocating, you'll find the men with their bases down under the table. They're busy roaming around. So if you want to advocate for girl child, come and ask her. Say, how are you doing it, sister? Because for me, it's hot. Then you'll get where you want to be.
Well, thank you so much. What advice do you give to a young woman out there about turning their passions into impact?
What I can tell a young girl out there about turning their passion into impact, I think everyone has faced a challenge. What challenge have you faced, and what can you do about it as a person? There is something you're passionate about. I think maybe writing or what, but I find who you are. You have to find out who you are, and I don't mean your name or what, but sit down and reflect and be like, who am I? What will I be remembered for?
Yeah.
What impact do I want to make in the society? Yes.
Wow.
Find who you are. Find your voice. Yes, there is power in finding who you are. When you find who you are, you find your passion and purpose, and you will be able to implement it.
Can I just drop a little? What she has said, find who you are. You can be a teacher, but you're advocating for doctors. You can be a doctor, you're advocating for teachers. So don't say that since I'm a doctor, for me, I'm just supposed to handle the syringe and the medicine. No.
So get out of the box.
Get out of the box. Stop having the soft.
Okay. So as we've seen, everyone has a passion, but your problem may be that you don't know what your passion is. But as we've discussed, I want you to look at yourself. Think about your life. What are you passionate about? What do you really think you want to be remembered for? And I want you to remember that we are here at Safe Space. Safe Space is a place for you. We want you to grow, want you to learn and be a better woman. Think about it, change your life. Bye-bye.